everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Wine, and Once, a Once Upon a Time podcast. I'm Lo.
And I'm Dee, and welcome to A Bad Time. So what this little podcast is, well, it's many things. It is a bad time, but what's happening is Lo and I are going through and rewatching Once Upon a Time episode by episode, primarily so you don't have to, but also because we like to torture ourselves and we love the show. It's a little bit of everything.
Yeah. We hate the show. We love the show. It's a very complicated relationship.
It is.
But we have been watching for 10 years, 10 plus years at this point. And
Gross.
like most of them, all but one of them, we've been watching together since the show came out. So
That's so long.
With that in mind, this is not a spoiler-free zone.
Not even a little.
Spoilers ahoy!
All of the spoilers.
Ahoy hoy! Every spoiler is here.
Hashtag spoiler alert.
Just the whole podcast is a spoiler alert. In our defense, it has been 10 years.
Dumbledore
I don't know what
dies.
to tell you. Ooh! Getting spicy out there.
Exactly.
Darth Vader is Luke's father.
Oh, no. Actually, I don't know. No, I finally did see all the Star Wars movies.
That's good. I have not seen all of them. I have seen the original trilogy.
Oh, that's...
And I did see the...
I think I've been told that's the important one.
I've seen, and I saw the prequels when they came out.
There you go.
So, I just haven't seen any of the new ones. I didn't have anybody to force me into it, and I was not a Star Wars person, so...
I wish I were.
It seems like it would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It feels like something we could really sink our teeth into, but I don't know.
Yeah. Much like we try to do with this, but there's not much...
I was going to say, but where are the weird fairy tale creatures?
And that's really what I'm here for. I don't like how true that is. If there's a fairy tale trope, I will probably watch the show.
Well, I at least have to check it out and try
No, exactly. I will intentionally seek it out and watch an episode. I don't remember the name of it. I think it was the one that Orlando Bloom starred in a few years ago. It was on Amazon Prime. It was like something Row, but it had fairies and stuff. And I was like, I should watch this.
Yeah.
I watched an
remember
episode.
That. I looked at that and said I should watch this,
Yeah.
and then just forgot.
I watched an
Because
episode
life
and
is
then
busy.
I forgot.
And then life got busy. And then there was Grimm, which was like the
Yep.
same-ish time as
But
Once Upon a Time.
Much darker.
Much darker.
All the episodes were like this one.
I don't know. This episode was pretty damn dark.
Oh, God.
I think this might be the grimmest episode of this show.
And that's saying something, because this show also gave us a villain whose happy ending was to murder people.
Yeah, but she
doesn't get to, so it's better. We don't let her.
This was a great time. Let's be clear. Red-handed. That's the episode we're listening to. Or we watched. It's such a fun episode, but holy God, is it dark?
A lot more blood and murder than I anticipated.
Way more in both on both sides.
Yeah, no, you don't escape it. There is no breathing room in this episode.
No. Hearts and entrails abound and red-handed.
Oh no.
It's funny because it's a pun, but she's also caught red-handed.
I need to drink more before we get into this. I have wine this time.
Oh yeah, no. I do too!
Wow.
You can't see it because travel mug, but
it's
wine.
Honestly, what's the over-under on me knocking this over at some point and breaking the glass?
Well...
Exactly. You've made
higher than we'd probably like.
You've made the right choice, is all I will say on that.
Unless you said none.
True. How's your week? What's new?
Oh, living the dream out here in La La Land. I don't live anywhere near LA, but, whatever it is. I don't know.
The dream.
Living the dream. I've taken at this point to... When my coworkers ask how's it going, I just go,
Yep.
And that's it. There's no more to it. I don't know what to say.
It's a fill in the blank, choose your own adventure kind of sentence.
I don't know. You can look at my face and
You're
figure it out because I don't know.
It's a Mad Lib. Choose an adjective.
It's a mad lib world.
I feel like this show's a Mad Lib sometimes.
Oh, more than sometimes. How many times have we theorized that they just had like a dartboard in the back room and just would throw darts? Like, who's our next character? Little Red Riding Hood? Okay. Who can we pair?
Who's our next character? Oh, Ruby.
Ruby. Yeah.
And that's why Mr. Gold has so many characters, because they kept landing on him like, motherfucker, okay, I guess he's this bitch as well.
Yeah, he actually is half the dartboard.
Oh, no. That's fair. You know,
I mean,
you got Robert Carlyle on your show. You better use him to his full potential.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why he's the Mothman. And Slender Man.
Oh, no. And Sasquatch. Bigfoot.
And Sasquatch.
Whatever. However you want.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And the Beast.
Oh, yeah.
And the Crocodile.
Too many things.
And Rumpelstiltskin.
Too many kids in our house.
So let's turn the sound up. It's a lot. It's a lot. But how are you doing? How's your week?
I think good. I know it's not a really good answer. I think it's good. Nothing bad has happened.
That's the most 2022 positive response ever. I think it's good.
Yeah, like nothing bad has happened. I don't know. I've been working on a few projects to be more efficient at work, because if I don't like my job, I could at least make it easier on myself.
That's good.
Yeah. So
that's good. That's something.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, it's not good. I still don't like what I'm doing, but I'm gonna make it easier.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think you have to be like super passionate about your job if it's paying the bills. It could also just be a very easy, 7-8 hours that you go to, and
that's where I'm at.
Then you turn it off. Solid. That's excellent. It's better than most.
Right.
I think it's better than and trailing off. So
that's fair. That was me a few weeks ago. So this is definitely a step up.
Yeah.
I will say, definitely a step up.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Like, I've actually been doing good. I got this is such an elderly person thing to do, but I got like a sunrise alarm clock, so it wakes me up with light slowly.
So nice.
And that's very nice. And I adjusted my bedtime, or not my bedtime, my wake up time to 15 minutes later, which has actually helped, because then when I wake up, I'm actually like awake.
Oh, good. Like, you let that REM cycle do its thing.
Yeah.
That's
good. It actually made a huge difference. So, like, I've actually been, like, up in the morning and getting dressed and being an adult about things. Ugh. I don't like that.
I don't like that these are the things that we get excited about. Ooh, REM cycle.
REM cycle. I started journaling.
Remember when we used to walk into our apartment in college and say Wednesday shots? Like, and now we're sitting here going, 1 glass of wine is too much.
It's not too much. It's just, if I'm
gotta
gonna
be
have
careful.
one. Yeah. Well, I like a glass of wine, and I like 2 or 3 even more. So
exactly.
But
so it's better.
Good. So it's good.
Yeah.
I'm just stalling. I am
fair.
stalling.
Usually it's me doing this. So this one is particularly horrific.
This is awful.
This is a lot to sink your teeth into, as it were.
Get out of here. Walk away from your screen. Walk away.
I cannot. I'm in a closet.
Oops. Well, that's unfortunate. Fine. I suppose you can stay.
Oh, okay. If I read the Disney Plus summary, can I stay?
Yes, I will allow this.
Perfect. Oh, man. We didn't call this out a few weeks ago, I don't think, but we're officially halfway through season 1. Like, over halfway.
I cannot believe it, but yeah, we are, and we're headed into, like, just the
actual plot?
the actual plot of this.
Because when you think of it, the Kathryn murder is really, like, the base of the plot for this first arc, season, whatever. It really is the catalyst. It makes things happen.
Yeah.
Things are going down.
Strange things are afoot at the Circle K.
Oh boy. All right. Season 1, episode 15. Title Red-Handed.
It's
funny.
A little Red Riding Hood episode.
We love it. Emma gives Ruby a job as her assistant. David faces questions about Kathryn's disappearance. Red Riding Hood yearns to run off with her love, but is prevented by a dangerous situation. I I don't think this properly captures the horrors of this episode.
No, but what could?
Nothing.
I technically it's all correct. I guess I can't really nitpick. Nothing is wrong with it. Nothing is factually inaccurate.
It makes it seem like this will be fun. We have Red Riding Hood. She's in love. Ruby's got a job.
Yeah,
Kathryn is still gone, but that's not a big deal.
Yeah, no, not so much. The lighthearted episode that we're really looking for here.
No. Are you ready for this?
No, but I'm going to be. Gotta be. So cheers. Have a drink, everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Get ready. It's a big one.
Oh, boy.
All right. So, Season 1, Episode 15, Red-Handed. For this episode, we actually begin in Storybrooke, which is not something we often... It's rare in the first episode, or in the first season. I feel like we usually start in the Enchanted Forest.
Right.
So it felt weird. Felt a little off-kilter. But we're in Storybrooke. We are in what I can assume is what serves as an interrogation room.
It just looks like a lounge. Kind of like a waiting room. Like
a file room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Emma is questioning David about Kathryn's disappearance. But
sounds more like a friendly chat. They're chatting about it.
Yeah, and he's like, I don't know how why this phone records say that we talked, we didn't. I don't know what's going on. There's not enough evidence to hold him, and Emma's like, I know liars, and liars have better material, so you're not lying.
And you're not counting that because she's already clocked that as he's in a, no, not doing this.
Yeah, it's the same thing. And also, like, she doesn't call it out as a superpower. And, I don't know, it feels weird to be like, hey, if you were lying, you'd have a better alibi.
What a weird thing to say.
Which is fair,
right?
But also, you haven't cleared him of anything.
No.
So
She's
it's not
really
like
bad at her job.
Yeah, oh my god, the number of sheriff missteps in this episode alone.
Oh.
But anyway, there's not enough evidence to hold David, so she lets him go. Then we flash over to the diner where Ruby and August are talking about all his travels. Side note, Ruby doesn't know what a lemur is.
I recognize Storybrooke is a very small, sheltered town.
Well,
but she knows about other things.
I was ready. I was 100% ready to be like, oh, well, maybe they don't have lemurs in the Enchanted Forest, and she's just never had the opportunity to learn about lemurs for some reason. And then she goes, Granny is like, hey, and knocks on the table and is like, or on the counter and is like, come over here. Like, you've got work to do. Stop flirting. And they get into this big argument because Granny wants Ruby to stay home on Saturday night and do the books. And Ruby's like, nah, that's Ruby time. No, thank y'all.
Girl, get it.
Granny's like, you need to be more responsible. And Ruby's like, you dress like Norman Bates when Norman Bates is dressed up as like Norman Bates' mother, which means Ruby has knowledge of Psycho. She has knowledge of the movie Psycho, but she does not have knowledge of lemurs. And there's just something there that is like a cognitive dissonance that I can't really sit with.
You mean,
I don't know how to handle that.
It's weird. Maybe lemurs are more of a weird thing. So you're telling me she has Psycho, but not Zaboomafoo?
I guess. No access to a zoo in Storybrooke.
Called bullshit. The Crap Brothers taught me so much.
Where do they keep Iago?
Oh, no.
I'm just saying.
Why does Mary Margaret have to build so many birdhouses?
It's because they don't have a zoo.
You know what? You're right. That's fair. Proceed.
Anyway, so Ruby with the killer slam about Granny dressing like Norman Bates when he's dressed as Norman Bates' mom. And then she quits. She's just like, I'm done. Out. Peace. Bye.
Ruby out.
That's it. We then flash over to the Enchanted Forest where we see Red Riding Hood. She is at her house. There is a knock on the shutters, and it's Peter.
Oh, Peter and the wolf.
I was just watching a version that Viola Davis did at the Hollywood Bowl, like, really recently.
Oh, wow. That's fun.
But yeah, like, Peter and the Wolf is a narrated symphony arrangement. It's cute. For children. This is not for children.
No.
Because, so anyway, he's, like, knocking at the shutters, and he's like, hey, I'll huff and I'll puff. Haha. It's funny, because wolves.
She makes a lot of weird references about his bad breath, if I recall correctly.
She says something about, like, you're gonna blow my house down with the power of your breath alone, and then he's like, haha, and she's like, well, a case could be made, which
I don't.
There's a joke to be made in there about mouths and places, but
that's all we will say on that.
We will let your imagination travel with that one. So he's like, I'll huff and I'll puff and she's like, and what? And he's like, I couldn't come up with the rest. He's cute. I like him.
We like him a lot.
He's not
I
long.
hope he sticks.
He's not long for this world, but I like him.
Yep.
Granny starts calling for Red, and she's like, I gotta go. And he's like, pay the price. 1 kiss, please. And she's
if a man ever...
I swear, grabbed my arm and was like, the price is a kiss. I'd be like, the price is a kiss to the nuts. And it's from my knee. Like, I don't know what to tell you. But... she does, because they're cute, and they're in love or whatever. Ugh. And then, like, goes into the front room where Granny has the townspeople. I like that Granny's like, Red, come in here. And then she walks in and is like, what's going on? She's like, it doesn't concern you.
It's great. So I'd like you to come into this room, but then I want you to do nothing and ask no questions. And also probably just leave. Get out.
Yeah, leave, please. I don't want you here. It's at the door. There's a bunch of townsfolk.
They're all saying, kill the beast.
Yes, they've got their Gaston torches. They're going to go kill the beast. They're going to go kill this wolf that apparently menaces them every full moon. But then it's not just every full moon because it's wolf time.
And Granny says it's only a few more days of wolf time. So
I couldn't get a beat on the timeline because a lot of the times it's every full moon something happens. But then there's days of wolf's time.
We just don't know.
I don't know.
Don't know what to tell you.
In any case, there is a wolf that is menacing this village. And every wolf's time, it kills a bunch of sheep. And Granny is saying, let him take the sheep. Go inside. Hide from this thing. It's bad news. And Ruby's like, I want to go on the hunt. And she's like, go in your room and put your cape on. Put your hood on. Go now. And Ruby is young and little, and we can tell this because Megan Ori uses this very light and breathy voice.
It's way up here. And if I recall correctly, so she leaves. Granny plants herself down in her rocking chair, grabs her crossbow, and points it towards the front door.
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting, given what we learn later.
Yes. It's certainly a misdirect.
I recognize she's doing it also because it'd be really weird if she turned and pointed at her granddaughter's door.
A little bit.
Red might be a little concerned.
Just a hair. But Red goes into her room. Night passes. The next day, Red is in their chicken coop gathering eggs, and she hears something rustling in the corner. She finds Snow White, who comes out, and she's like, are you stealing our eggs? And it is the best scene
It's so
ever,
good.
because Snow has 2 eggs in her hands, and she's like, no.
It's great. I love this because at first I was angry because I was thinking, this is badass bandit Snow White. This is bullshit. She would know better. But then I realized, no, wait, if she doesn't know Red yet, this is this is Princess Snow. She is just run off. The huntsman just gave her the little whistle thing and was like, go. You'll never use this whistle. We're never going to see this reed whistle again, but I'm giving it to you.
Yeah, and bye.
And bye. So I do like that. I like that we see that she is she's useless on her own.
Yes. Well, and I like that throughout this episode we see her gain skills from Red that are going to turn her into the Snow White we know from later. So, anyway, they're talking, and Red's like, who are you? And Snow is like, I'm Frosty. My name is Frosty. And Red's like,
no, you're not.
No, it's not. That's not right. So Snow admits that she's hiding from someone. She is on the run.
Right.
And basically, Red's like, I just need to be able to call you something.
Whatever. Pick a name.
Pick a name. And Snow says, you can call me Margaret. Actually, call me Mary.
And
haha, it's very funny.
I love this because, again, at first I was like, wow, Regina just knew all this shit when she created Storybrooke. And then I realized, bitch has a magic mirror. She's absolutely sitting here going, Frosty, what in the fuck? Like, she's taking notes. She is planning.
Probably. Yeah, so it was very, I liked it. I did like the back and forth of like, oh, it's Margaret. No, it's Mary. And then you put it together, It's Mary Margaret.
Yeah. Very cute. Very, very clever.
Clever. This is a clever episode. And I know some of these things enrage you. And I'm just sitting here delighted, like clapping my hands like, haha, Peter and the wolf.
I think it's very fun and clever. I just hate, it makes me angry because that means I have to give the show credit. And I don't like to do that.
That's fair. All right. So now, everybody take a drink because, well, maybe don't. Actually, put your drinks down. No, put your drinks down because these ladies are about to go to the well. And they go to the well and they pull up a bucket of water. Except it's not water.
What is it? Is it wine?
I wish. Jesus has been here. Jesus hath blessed this
David
village.
Christ, thank you.
David Christ passed by. No. Snow's looking horrified, but she's not looking at the well. And Red's like, what's going on with my bucket? And like, hey, look at this. This is weird. And then we see Snow looking just horrified. And then the camera pans out, and it's just maimed bodies everywhere. It's the maimed bodies of the hunters. They've all been mauled. They're all murdered. And inside the bucket is a bunch of blood. It's all blood. It's blood
did
bucket.
The wolf kill them and then like drain them each into the well? What's happening here?
Well, there's a lot of blood on the snow. So
Fine.
No,
Why is it in the bucket? That's so specific. That means she had to pull it out, which means the well is filled with blood.
Well, I mean, I guess technically it could just be if a person who was severely bleeding fell in, the blood would mix with the water and just make red water.
That's true. Okay, I will allow that.
And it will look like blood because it is mostly blood. And it's gross. It's so way more graphic than we've ever seen.
Sundays at 8 p.m. Maybe 7. I forget at this point. I think it was 8. I think it was
8. But it's one thing to see something like this on like at the time 24 or like one of those shows, but to see it on this show, this is way more graphic than we've ever gotten.
Considering last episode we had dwarves whistling hi-ho, this is quite a jump.
Yes, we were in Fairyland last week.
Oh, the whiplash this show insists on
giving us. The Sky Mongoose.
The Sky Mongoose.
Now we're over here with the mauled bodies. Turning the snow red. So, obviously, this is very upsetting to them and to us. But we're going to leave them there as we jump back over to Storybrooke.
I'm going to drink now because we're leaving that scene.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Take the drink now that we've cleared the well of blood.
Yeah. Lovely.
Emma and Mary Margaret are walking down the street in Storybrooke and kind of just talking about the David situation.
Sure.
You know, they're talking about Kathryn having gone missing and nobody knows where it is. It looks bad. That, you know, I did love this. Emma's like, she found out about you, gave you a very well-deserved slap, and then disappeared. And Mary Margaret's like wounded by this, and she's like, you really believe that? And she's like, no, I'm just trying to prepare you for what other people will say. And I'm like, you meant that, girl.
She absolutely meant it. 100%.
And to be fair, I'm not in disagreement. I mean, maybe not the place of work, maybe not in front of the children.
But the anger in the slap warranted. Absolutely.
Yeah, You knew he was married.
You weren't. No,
you had an affair anyway.
You're getting slapped.
I'm not upset she slapped you. I'm not.
The school
I'm
part
sorry.
was upsetting.
Yeah. But I'm not, I don't know. I mean, don't physically assault anybody ever. It's bad. Don't do it.
Right.
But, like, I understand it. I'm not.
I can see that. I see where she was coming from.
Yeah. So, anyway, they're having this discussion, and then they see our friend, Ruby, on the street fending off Dr. Whale, who's being a skis and being weird, and he's like, I can carry your bag. And she's like, no. And he's like, I can help you cross the street. No. Well, I gotta help you cross something.
Is he working on his wilderness? No, wait, I don't like it. Having a wilderness explorer badge. I take it back. The wilderness must be explored.
He's being
gross.
A creep. He's being a jerk. He's being gross. And they walk up and they're like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, because he's being gross and a weirdo, sure. He's like, well, bye. And they're like, was he bothering you? And she's like, the day I cannot deal with a lech is the day I leave town, which I guess is today. So, because she is packed. She's got a bag, a suitcase. She's standing at the bus stop.
She has her highlights crimped. She is ready.
Never comes.
Have they ever seen a bus? What makes her think today a bus is going to come through?
I don't know. There's never been a bus on the street. And Emma points out, she's like, yeah, buses out of town don't really happen. Don't know what you're thinking. But, and they're like, you might want to plan. So Mary Margaret's like, come stay with me. Because, Mary Margaret adopts.
Emma hates this idea so much. And, publicly is like, only for a while, right? It's really awkward.
Well, to be fair, where is she going to sleep? It's a studio apartment. I don't know where Emma sleeps.
I don't know where Mary Margaret is sleeping right now.
We know where Mary Margaret is sleeping. She's got the bed.
That's right. Where's Emma sleeping?
We don't know where Emma is sleeping.
Is there an attic? Is this a studio?
Well, there's the loft. There are stairs. I think it's a loft.
Oh, we just will never.
We never see it. In 7 seasons, we never see the rest of the apartment.
No.
But whatever. Mary Margaret ends up going out to where Kathryn disappeared, and she runs into David, who is being very weird. He keeps mumbling that he's looking for his wife, and she's trying to have this conversation. He just keeps saying, I'm looking. I'm still looking. And she's
real
like,
creepy.
This is very weird. And then he wanders off, and she's like, okay, so that was weird.
And it was. But it was an unsettling thing to see.
She was not incorrect. So, back in the Enchanted Forest, we come upon this meeting where this man is being a man about things and is like, to think if I had not had stayed 10 minutes longer, I would have been one of the slain. But had I circled back, maybe I could have stopped it.
And I caught a fish this big.
I know. He was being such a man about it. And then Granny comes in and she's like, shut up.
This is like a town hall meeting. It's like it's great.
It's Stars Hollow.
It's
the Stars Hollow Town's meeting, and that was Taylor.
Yep.
I don't know what to tell you.
It is.
That's the energy he's giving. And Granny's gonna walk in and just be like, knock it off.
Yep.
Knock it off. Little,
not worth it.
Energy. A little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
So she's just like, no, stop it. And they're like,
I don't wanna.
Like, no, the wolf cannot be killed. Don't hunt it. Stop it. What you do is hide. You don't fight the wolf. You just live with it. You hide. You get out of its way. And they're like, you've already told us this before. Apparently her name is Widow Lucas. So they're like, you've already told this. And she's like, yeah, but I haven't told you how I know this. And then she tells this story about how when she was a young child, a wolf, a different wolf, but a similar wolf, was hunting and attacking the village. And her brothers and fathers went out supposedly to protect her. She was supposed to be in bed. I don't know why they were just protecting her, but okay.
They don't love anyone else, only her.
That's fair. So she was supposed to be sleeping. She climbed up onto the roof and was kind of watching and watched as basically this wolf attacked and killed her family.
That's nice and traumatic for her.
And then bit her, turned around and walked away. Like, bit her on the arm, turned around, walked away, like nothing had happened. And then Granny rolls up her sleeves and shows this gnarly bite mark scarred over.
You ever wonder how I get these scars? That's what she says.
Basically. So, back away from the town hall meeting, it's slumber party time. And Red's like, so your granny's kind of intense? And Red's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I've got this boy.
Yeah.
And he's cute. And he's
sleepover
pretty.
talk.
Yeah. And I would like to run away with him. We've been talking about it, and we're going to try to go, like, elope and have a life together or whatever, because, again, Granny's kind of intense.
Just a hair.
She's a little intense. So, Snow, they're having girl talk, and Red's like, do you have a person? And Snow's like, nah, I don't know if it's even in the cards for me. Whatever.
Which at this point it isn't. And I love that. I love that right now she's just like, I'm Princess Snow and I'm on the run and I don't know anything.
Exactly. And I don't, clearly this is, I don't have time for boys.
No, I'm on the run. Don't have time for this.
But Snow says, hey, but you're lucky you've got this. And, that's very lucky. And Red's like, Granny won't let me out to see him.
Boo-hoo.
So what we should do about this is we should track down the wolf and kill it.
The worst idea.
But if we kill it, if we track it in the daytime, maybe it'll be asleep and we can kill it easier. Snow's like, so this is bad. So this is a bad idea.
She's like, there are teams of trained hunters who have failed before us. We are two small women, which women can't do anything. They are not trained. This is not a men can, women can't. It is, we are very small and we don't have weapons. We have none between the two of us. What are we going to do here?
Maybe you can steal Granny's crossbow and then we have one.
Between the two of us, that leaves one of us very vulnerable.
And it's me. So, anyway, Snow, I don't know, has never heard a bad idea that she doesn't want to get involved with. Yikes. So she's like, fine, whatever. They go searching for the wolf, and Red is kind of explaining how to track.
Right.
So Red has some survivalist instincts and understands tracking and all of this. So they're looking for wolf prints, and Snow is incredibly bad at this.
She's so bad.
She's like, what about these? And Red looks at them and is like, yeah, those are rabbits.
Those are tiny.
Those are little tiny, and they are shaped
all I can
like bunny feet.
Think of is that maybe Snow is thinking of like a coyote. Like, all I can think of is her point of reference for this animal is, oh, like a fox or a coyote? Is this what we're dealing with?
Yeah, exactly. And Red's like, no, we're looking for something that looks like a dog footprint, but like massive. And then Snow's like this? And then they look, and it's these giant tracks, and they're very spaced out. So they're like, how big is this thing? It's very scary.
Oh, no.
So they keep walking and realize that as they're tracking it, that suddenly the wolf prints seem to look like they are half wolf print, half boot.
A humanoid. Fascinating.
And then it's just boot prints through the snow.
The wolf grew shoes?
Yes, that's exactly what's happened. It has shoes it put on.
Upsetting.
Meanwhile, back in Storybrooke, Henry and Ruby are hanging out at the police station.
Right.
Ruby's looking for jobs, and Henry's like, hey, you want to be a courier? You can ride a bike and carry things around and deliver them to people on a bike. And she's like, no, because I am not good at riding a bike. Ruby cannot ride a bike, apparently.
Wow.
And Henry's like, well, how about if you just carry things around, like you deliver things in a basket? Haha, it's funny because Little Red Riding Hood baskets. A tisket, a tasket. And Ruby's like, I don't think that's a real job. Which is correct. But anyway, the phone keeps ringing, and Ruby's like, why?
What is this?
Why do these keep ringing and not getting picked up? And Henry explains that the non-emergency calls go to a message system when Emma's very busy, when the sheriff is very busy. So it's clearly kind of driving.
It would drive me
a
crazy.
Little insane.
It would drive me bonkers if a phone kept ringing. Landlines are the devil.
True. And so she picks up the phone finally and is like, sheriff's office, and does a very professional job. And someone on the line is clearly calling about thinking it's a prowler. And she's like, oh no, that's not a prowler. That's Pongo. It's Dr. Hopper's dog. Just throw him a vanilla wafer. Mm-hmm. He'll shut up.
No, the same goes for me. To shut me up, you can also just send me some vanilla wafers.
Yeah, just throw some vanilla wafers at my face and I'll be fine.
I'll open a P.O. box if you send me vanilla wafers. Thank you.
Soliciting wafers through the mail. But Emma comes in and is impressed by this situation, which, to be fair, I think Ruby would be a great, police secretary because she knows everybody. She knows everything. So those non-emergency situations, she could absolutely be like, yeah, this is what you do.
Yeah.
I already know how to handle this because I deal with this.
Yeah.
But Emma is like, awesome, why don't you come work? You need a job, why don't you come work for me? And Ruby is like, absolutely yes, what do you want me to do? And she's like, I want lunch right now. And I'm like, where's your W-2?
Yeah.
You're not on payroll.
I want a grilled cheese sandwich, thanks.
Mm-hmm. So, basically, Emma's like, I would never say no to a grilled cheese sandwich. And off Ruby goes. Margaret.
Henry is back on his bullshit in this moment.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Yeah.
She's Red Riding Hood, so we get that.
Yeah. And Emma's like, okay, bye.
Okay, bye. Doesn't she make some comment like, don't you have school? Because he's like, I'll have 2 cookies and ice cream. And she's like, what?
You have school? Which this is clearly lunchtime, so why is he not there already?
Well, neither is Mary Margaret, so what's
Maybe it's a day off school. Who knows? I don't know. I don't understand the ins and outs of the Storybrooke Unified School District. They're not unified. They're absolutely a private school. Anyhow, Mary Margaret comes and is talking to Emma about the weird conversation / non-conversation she had with David in the woods, and Ruby goes to pick up lunch. She, of course, goes to Granny's and, walks in and has...
We have seen no fewer than, 4 different eating establishments in this town.
It's so awkward. It's so...
super uncomfortable.
She walks in and is, clearly trying to brag about her job, but also kind of, trying to get her granny to just be like, oh, good for you.
Yeah. It's really cringy.
Granny is having none of it. She's still very mad. So...
Yeah.
They have a very strange conversation. She's being awkward about it. She's like, I have a job now. And Granny is like, well, it doesn't seem like you're doing much different. You are still taking orders.
Yeah.
Food orders. Coming to my kitchen and getting them.
Good for you. You've gone so far.
It'll be a minute. This was a weird... It just stuck out to me because of the weirdness of the flow of the conversation. She's like, it'll be a minute. What's his bucket back there has to unwrap the cheese slices.
First of all, it means they're making their grilled cheese with American cheese, which inherently is...
With the Kraft singles.
Is not a bad thing, because that is the correct cheese if you're pairing your grilled cheese with tomato soup. If you are just eating a grilled cheese, you better be using other cheeses.
So, she's like, she's gonna need to unwrap the cheese.
Was that used to be her job or something? Is that why she's making it weird?
I don't know. And then Ruby's like, I solve crimes. Like, it's so weird. It's just a weird conversation.
It's real bad.
It's very awkward. I mean, it's very realistic because I think in those situations it does just become this very like,
well, I have this.
I'm trying to show off how awesome.
Yeah, it's like post breakup. Like, I'm fine. So much better I am.
Exactly. So they don't resolve anything, and Ruby's off on her way. Back in the Enchanted Forest, Red is they're tracking, and Red's telling Snow about this creature that turns from man to wolf when the moon is full, and Snow's like, okay, yeah, heard it before. Also, aren't we coming close to this the cottage, your house? And they see that the tracks have led to Ruby's window, or to Red's window.
That's fun for her.
And they have this realization that Peter came to the window last night. The wolf must be Peter.
I appreciate the logic. But I think
solid. Yeah. No, I mean, I think. Yeah. That's the logic. That stands to reason. Yep. You don't think any.
Well,
there's no reason to think otherwise. Like, that's the most logical conclusion. Yeah. Peter's the wolf. So now, what they do with that information is fucking insane. But their logic is sound. Their logic is very sound. What they do with the logic, absolutely fucking insane. Because Snow's like, you have to do something about this, and Red's like, I have to do something about this. Right. So Red finds Peter, and she tells that, Peter, we think you're the wolf, or the wolf is using your body or something. And he's like, wouldn't I remember it? And she's like, well, maybe it makes you forget. And he's, like, she's like, but, it's not a big deal because it's not a problem for me. So we can go and we can run away and we'll be together, and just every full moon we have to tie you up with rope. And I know where to find rope. So we're set. And Peter is insane and is like, I have chains right here, right now.
Why does he, you know what? We don't kink shame.
Tie me up.
We do not kink
chain me up. Yeah.
We know why he has them.
And good guy Peter is like, yeah, tie me up. If I'm the wolf, like, tie me up. I don't know why we can't lock him in a secure location and see if that helps, but we lock him out in the open and are like, okay, he's chained up and everything is safe. Red's like, I will stay with you.
It'll be fine.
The whole time, and it'll be fine. We go back to Storybrooke, where now is when Henry is back on his bullshit.
You're right.
He's like, she's Little Red Riding Hood.
Fuck you.
And Emma's like, okay, bye. Emma takes Ruby out to investigate Kathryn's disappearance because she comes back to the sheriff's station, like, cranky and dejected and, like, mad after the exchange with Granny. And Emma's like, okay, like, then let's make you more useful. Like, let me just take this person who's not even on the payroll out to go search for a missing person.
Right? That feels legit.
Solid. Yeah, solid. They are following tracks in the woods.
Oh, wow. They're looking. It's just like in the Enchanted Forest. Looking at tracks.
And so they're... Oh, yeah. And so they're out in the forest because Mary Margaret runs and is like, David's in the woods! David's in the woods!
I hate this.
It's a weird... It's a bonkers sentence. She's just like, David's in the woods, and they're like, okay, we're going to the woods.
Yep.
Because, she's like, this was a weird situation, and now he's out in the woods, and it's weird. So, they're out looking for Kathryn, looking for David.
Right.
Following tracks when Ruby seems to hear something that Emma can't. And is like, can't you hear it? Like, David's here. Can't you hear him? And Emma's like, no.
LOL.
What the fuck? And Ruby's like, no, he's over here. They find David once again, passed out in the woods.
He's
so many times.
This is his version of Killian in the floor.
Yeah.
David
in the woods.
David in the woods and Hook in the floor are the same.
OTB.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
OTB. Yeah, this man has been on the forest floor too many times.
Yeah, no, I don't like it. He must.
He's unconscious on the floor when they are when he's revived, he has no memory. You know, Emma's like, dude, what have you been up to? And he's like, I don't remember anything since I left your office. And she's like, that was like a full near 24 hours ago.
Yeah. Not good.
This is bad. This is bad. The man is blacking out.
We should be concerned.
His wife is missing. This is all bad.
Right.
They go to the hospital where skeezy Mr. Dr. Whale is there. Because it's the only doctor we have in the hospital. Oh, yeah. And he is basically like, he's having the same trouble he was having when he first came out of his coma. Back the last time he was on the forest floor. He offers to refer David to Dr. Hopper.
I feel like you should have had a referral the first time. Like, you're awakened from a coma, you should see a therapist.
Probably. But, you know, we don't do things right. So.
Yep.
David, rightfully so, is worried about the fact that he's blacking out and is like, I have a missing wife and I'm blacking out and there's proof that we talked.
It's here.
Like, rightfully, he's very concerned about this. He's suspicious of himself at this point.
Yep.
Good for him. Good for him for being like,
hey,
no, I don't remember shit. This is bad. So Regina comes storming in.
Oh my god. You can see her in the background in a few shots, like, as she's walking in, and it's fantastic. She's not even the focus of the camera. And it's like, oh, nope, there she goes.
There's Regina. She's here. Lana Perea is here to earn her paycheck and yell at Emma some more, which is
a dream.
Great. She is enraged because she's like, why are you not out looking for Kathryn? Why does this man not have a lawyer? Why are you questioning him? She's like, well, he's not under arrest.
Why not?
Like, yeah, sure. And like, yeah, sure. But she's playing protective of David. It's very weird.
She does.
I couldn't get the vibe.
Tried to like fuck him in a few episodes. I'm pretty sure. So
that's true.
Oh no.
So,
sorry, I'm having like realizations for future episodes. Continue.
Oh no.
You just arrived where I did.
No.
We have to.
Oh, but I don't want to.
That means she got both twins.
Full set, baby.
No, maybe she only Cruella got James. I take it back.
Well, yeah, because he was dead.
That's true.
Anyhow. Regina's like, what the fuck is going on? Why does he not have a lawyer? What are you doing? You're doing your job wrong. She objectively is doing her job wrong.
Yep.
But Emma's like, I'm questioning him because I have questions and I'm trying to find Kathryn. And she's like, well, you've searched this room pretty thoroughly. Yeah. I suggest you widen your search.
And I think that's fair.
It's an excellent little jive. Lots of little lines in here that I'm just like, I like that.
Yeah.
So, turns out, because she's like, and Emma's like, why are you even here? And she's like, I'm still his emergency contact, because at no point did Kathryn change that.
I love that for her.
She was like, I absolutely will not be dealing with my husband.
I love
in the hospital anymore. So, anyway, she's like, go search more. Emma calls Ruby, and she is worried about the fact that, like, David's been released. Mm-hmm. There's, like, reason to suspect him. They need to beat him to any evidence, right. Basically. They need to beat whoever it is to any evidence, because if the crime has been committed, they can't let things escape.
Sure.
So she's like, hey, last time he was doing this weird sleepwalky thing, he ended up at the toll bridge.
Sure.
So, Ruby, will you please go to the toll bridge and check it out? You're a good tracker. Ruby does as asked. She goes to the bridge. She notices this, like, board. She turns it over, sees some dirt that's, like, very freshly dug up and refilled. So she digs it up and she finds this box.
Sure.
And, you know, Emma's on the phone the whole time.
On a sweet flip phone. The coolest of flip phones.
Yeah. And Ruby opens the box and just immediately screams And that's all we know for the time being.
Horrifying.
She just screams a horrified scream, and we're back in the Enchanted Forest for more horrifying things.
I want to.
We are in it now, folks. Oh, gosh. Okay. Granny comes in to wake up Red because things are just... shit's going down.
Right.
People are riled up. She's like going to wake up Red. She tries to wake up Red. It's not Red. It's Snow wearing Red's cloak. She's got the Red Riding Hood on. It's nonsense. Granny looks surprised. Granny looks shocked. Granny looks appalled.
I feel like there's a sheep in wolf's clothing moment there with Snow.
A little bit, yeah.
It's good.
For real.
Right? Exactly.
And Granny looks very worried. And Snow's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. So you're not going to believe this, but Peter's the wolf. Mm-hmm. But don't worry. He's not going to hurt Red because he's tied up. And Granny's like, he's tied up? That poor boy. And is immediately out the door.
It's amazing.
It's a great scene. And we then flash over to Peter, who's chained up.
With his chains.
Yeah, with his chains, with the wolf just menacingly approaching him as he yells and begs and pleads, Red, please don't do this. Don't do this. And then the wolf lunges. And that's where we cut. We go.
So it's a happy show.
It's really cheery. We come back up on Granny and Snow. Must have been a commercial break because we're still in the Enchanted Forest. They're on their way to try and find Red and Peter and save Peter. Granny is telling Snow about the family curse and how that werewolfism runs in the family.
Bonkers.
I guess Red's mom was a werewolf, but she was killed by a pack of hunters.
Right.
And Granny has hidden this all from Red for whatever reason. Granny herself is a wolf. But everyone knows, as is well documented and everyone knows, you lose your ability to transform with age.
Oh, sure. It's like
Obviously.
menopause.
So now, once menopause hits, you can't be a wolf anymore. I mean, it's all linked to the moon, and that's very much a period thing.
Yeah,
So maybe there's a theory there.
I'm into it.
Anyhow, Granny has lost her ability to transform. She's not the wolf anymore.
Right.
But instead, she still can track.
That's missing.
So, like a wolf. So they're tracking Red. They're trying to find her before anything bad happens. Also, the cloak is magical. Red hood is magical.
Right.
It stops the transformation from happening, which is a problem because Snow is currently wearing it.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not Red.
Mm-mm.
And in I would argue the darkest Once Upon a Time scene we will ever have. Mm-hmm. They arrive at the tree where Peter was tied up.
Right.
They are not in time. The wolf is feasting upon a corpse.
Oh, God.
A mauled corpse.
An unrecognizable corpse. We only know who it is because we saw before.
Entrails. It's gnarly.
Yeah.
Like, it's not super graphic,
but concept,
it's red smears and kind of legs and stuff. It's
intense.
It's grim.
Yeah.
And the wolf turns around and lunges at them, but Granny shoots it with a silver-tipped arrow from her crossbow, and that stops her. And Snow throws the cloak on. She turns back into Ruby, to Red, who has the horrifying realization that Peter wasn't the wolf.
She's like in hysterics, like inconsolable.
Red was the wolf.
This is a horrible
and
scene.
She's eaten her boyfriend. This is
a horrible scene.
There's no nice way to put that. She ate her boyfriend. And she's in hysterics and sobbing, and upset, rightfully so.
Again,
yeah, that's a very upsetting
her
thing.
boyfriend.
And Granny's like, you gotta go. You have to leave. Snow, take her, get her out of here. She's gotta go. You have to run. Because again, she ate her boyfriend. So there are townspeople approaching. Red's gotta go. They run off into the forest, leaving Granny to deal with the townspeople and the very grim and grisly scene that has been left behind by, again, Red eating her boyfriend.
I just don't know if in the writer's room they really thought about how truly horrific this moment is. And how they now have to take this character who knows she has eaten her boyfriend and continue to have her be a level-headed, mild-mannered, and functioning adult.
Right, the character that they've already established as from later in the timeline.
And she is very put together, very chill, very calm, very like, oh, charming, you're in love, and not like, I was in love once and then I ate him. Like, she is so...
Maybe she took the potion of forgetting.
Listen, I wouldn't blame her.
I would. I absolutely would.
Absolutely, yes. I really...
It's wild.
And I recognize in Storybrooke she's cursed. She does not have these memories. But down the line, when she gets them, how is she a fully functional human?
I don't know. It's...
How?
It's a lot. But you know what? Here's the news. It's not good news, but here's the news. We're not done traumatizing Red or Ruby this episode.
Oh no.
Because we're back in Storybrooke. We're at the sheriff's station. Ruby's very upset about whatever she's found in the box. And
what's in
she's
the box?
Freaked out and is like, police work is not for me. And Emma is like, you're amazing at this. You're an amazing tracker. You're like such an asset. And she's like, yeah, but like,
Deuces.
No, absolutely not.
And I think that's fair.
I think that's incredibly fair. So Ruby goes back to the diner and she asks Granny if her arm is still bothering her. And Granny says, it always does every full moon. And like pulls up her sleeve and we see the same scars. Right. So those came on over with her too. But they just don't know why she's got them.
Sure.
They make up because Ruby admits that it's not that she doesn't want to be like Granny. She just doesn't know how. And like this added responsibility of like doing the books and stuff.
On Ruby time is scary.
On Ruby time is scary and big. And you know what? I don't know. Like being in charge of money is weird and scary.
It is.
So, especially for like a business.
Yeah, no.
I don't blame her for, like, pushing back on it. And Granny's like, yeah, but I wanted you to learn to do the books because I would like you to take over the business when I retire.
She wants the family business to stay in the family?
Yeah, it's kind of bonkers that, like, Ruby didn't have that thought in mind. Yeah, she seems very surprised by this.
Yeah.
But maybe she's just coming to like the realization that like, oh shit, my granny will eventually retire.
Oh, I was thinking that you're less morbid than I am.
I'm only using retire because that was the verbiage. It is die, but you know, she's like, oh shit, like, right? She's an old woman who deserves to not run a business after a certain point. So
good for them.
They make up because Granny wants somebody who loves the diner to have the diner, and Ruby loves the diner.
Does she love the... I feel like Ruby's only ever disdainful about the diner.
At least that we've seen. I feel like in later seasons and, like, episodes, not that we get her for many more, but when we do see her, it does feel like she's more content at the diner, like, happy being there.
Yeah, I'd agree.
But maybe that's just because of what she found in the box.
What is in this box, Lo? You keep mentioning it. Say more.
Well, first I'm going to give you the setup of how we all find out.
Oh, good. We were all there together. Tell us.
We are all here together. Mary Margaret is visiting David at his workplace. Again, what is with people and going to the workplace?
Well, we know that David is there at the vet or the shelter, returning Ajax because
Because he doesn't have a dog anymore.
What happened to that dog?
Who knows? In any case, Mary Margaret is there and she's talking to David about this the conversation and the blacking out, and they're just trying to sort things out and figure out what's going on. And Emma arrives.
Right.
And again, in another really stellar piece of police work, she says, Ruby found a box. Why? Inside of that box was a human heart! There was a human heart inside of the box.
Why?
There was a human heart inside of the box.
Why is she telling this to people that are not investigating?
Right. And I want to go back to the fact that this is the box that Ruby found. Ruby found a human heart. Ruby found a human heart in a box.
This poor woman.
Ruby and her boyfriend, and then she found a human heart.
This is truly upsetting.
This poor woman.
All in one episode.
This was just the traumatized Ruby hour.
Oh.
So, David is like, immediately like, arrest me, Emma. I did it. I don't, because, he's like, I'm blacking out.
It was me.
Clearly it was me. I must have done something terrible while I don't remember. And she's like, no, there were fingerprints. Which is when David's like, okay, arrest me. Like, clearly you're here because they were my fingerprints and I did something that I don't remember. And she's like, no, you're not under arrest. The fingerprints were Mary Margaret's.
Ooh.
Dun, dun, dun! Wow. And that's where we end.
I'm going to down the rest of this.
Yeah, no, I'm going to drink a lot after that. Cheer. I don't want to cheers that.
Raise a glass for Ruby.
Yeah.
Pour one out for Ruby. She's alive, but pour one out for her.
Just, oh boy. Oh boy.
This was a lot.
That was, whew.
And as gruesome and as gross as moments of it were, this is such a well-crafted episode.
Oh, it's so much fun.
It's fun. It's suspenseful.
So much fun.
It has plot that actually pertains to the whole arc and not just this character is this character because it's fun. Like there are weight-bearing moments that occur throughout.
Yeah.
Because the Kathryn's dead arc lasts for a very long time. This is very important.
Right. This is our half of the season. Yep. This is where we're staying for a while. Yeah. Until we break the curse.
I'm pretty sure this is not what I wanted to open. I wanted to open Disney Plus to kind of really sink our teeth into how long we're in this Kathryn's dead arc. We have, so we really started at episode 13. So really, I think what happened to Frederick would have been the one we came back to after the break. We stay there at least through Hat Trick, because that's...
Yes. Well, and that's when Mary Margaret's on the run.
Exactly. So at least
midweek, Sebastian Stan.
So it's at least to there, if not a bit further. So there's 5 episodes for the Kathryn is dead storyline.
Yeah, no, it's a solid chunk of time. And this is just a fun episode of television. Like, again, it's gross, but it's only gross in terms of Once Upon a Time. I don't think the scenes, aside from, is it cannibalism?
Kind of.
I don't,
because she is a human.
She's a human.
At that moment, she's not. So maybe, I keep going back to, it was like, my science class, we used to do mind puzzles, and there was one where it was a man walks into a diner and eats albatross and immediately goes out and unalives himself. And it was, why would he do that? And we had to ask yes or no questions, and our teacher would be like, yes or no, to help us solve the mystery. And how I think the solve was he and his wife were on an island together and they got separated, and he found some people that were like, hey, we can help you hunt for food. And he survived off of albatross, or so he thought. It wasn't until he tried a real albatross that he realized he had not eaten bird, he'd eaten human, and had eaten his wife.
Ah, yeah, lovely.
And I believe we even had a whole moral discussion about how it, technically by standards, was cannibalism, but he was not willingly partaking in I'm going to eat my wife, this sounds fun.
Right. No, it was just...
It's interesting.
I don't know what to call it. I don't...
A mess.
Certainly, I think if it were to happen to me, I'd consider it cannibalism.
Right?
But, thank goodness. I don't know. Is this the Yellow Jackets? I don't know. I haven't watched Yellow Jackets, but I hear there's cannibalism involved there. Maybe they could tell us.
Someone tell us, is this considered cannibalism?
What do you think? That's the question. Is this cannibalism?
Oh, no.
I don't... Yeah, it's... But anyway, it's a well-crafted episode. Every moment on screen, I just feel like the whole thing's compelling. Mm-hmm. It's a good time.
Weird that we don't get any Gold or Rumple, but we do get some gratuitous Madam Mayor, so...
Yes. Well, and, you know, as we were talking to locally famous Matthew Winter over the week, we were talking about how he mentioned and pointed out, rightfully so, that it's a smaller cast. Yeah. And these episodes are a lot better when the cast is smaller.
I agree.
Cutting out all of the Gold stuff, like, really... And most of Regina.
It lets you focus on the small moments versus this large cast of everyone.
Right. And I appreciated that the only Henry we got was Henry being a little jerk and making little Red Riding Hood jokes and being like, you could be a courier and carry a basket.
He's such a little shit.
Like, that's why he should be here. That's why he should be here. To be a little shit about their identities.
Would like an AU of Once Upon a Time where everything is the same except for Henry is just a sassy little asshole like that doesn't want to believe in fairy tales but has been given this proof that he doesn't know how to deny that was a struggle, and is kind of just like tongue-in-cheek about everything, like making weird jokes that only he understands and kind of laughing about it. Like, that's all I want.
Yes, absolutely, that would have been more fun.
I agree.
Well, again, I think that would have been more fun to spend more time with, and they just didn't know we were going to be spending all this time with Henry.
Oh, I wish we didn't spend as much time with Henry.
No, I don't have complaints about this episode other than give Ruby a vacation, please.
I don't have complaints. I want to bring up one thing. Granny says this is her cloak. I had it enchanted by a wizard. There are canonically wizards in this universe. And I know we have dark fairies, we have fairies, we have a sorcerer, because later we do the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
We do the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
But wizards. Yeah. We have wizards. Never once
You're
do
a
we...
wizard, Harry.
We don't utilize this. Never again are there mentions of wizards. We never call upon our wizard friends.
No.
Oh, no.
We go to Camelot.
Oh, no.
We go to Camelot. Merlin's a wizard.
Oh.
I don't remember if Merlin's in the goddamn show, but we go to Camelot.
Okay. But still, if we agree this is a universe where wizards and Merlin exist, why are we not using them to, first of all, help with this goddamn fucking ogre war? Second of all, once we know that there's a curse to reverse, where's their magic? Everyone else is getting their magic and shit back. Why aren't the wizards of Waverly Place getting their powers?
Where is Selena Gomez in Once Upon a Time?
That's the crossover we deserved. Those cowards.
We really do. How dare they not give it to us?
Cowards.
No, it's an excellent point. It truly is. Let me look at my note.
I can accept that there are wizards. I cannot accept that we never use them to help.
Yeah, no. It's, again, I feel like they just have... It's the thing that...
Just throw the blue fairy line in there. Like, we had the blue fairy enchanted. She has too much power. No one will question it.
Right. She is the true villain of the show.
Uh-huh.
But a theory we will perhaps one day expound upon, but not today.
That's going to be our mid-season, and our end-of-season wrap-up, which is us saying, here's our evidence against the blue fairy in season 1.
Thus far.
Yes.
Really, this is a blue fairy slander podcast?
Yeah, the lists and the family tree and stuff, that's just to distract us from the fact that...
Yeah, no.
Blue fairy
This is a slander podcast. No,
what do you have?
I did... Oh, and I didn't have anything really to point out, but I did miss one line that I really wanted to point out. I don't have a rant. I don't have any big particular things that bothered me. Because, again, this was a tightly plotted episode.
Right.
That did well. I liked the whole thing. It was gross.
Everything I could want.
It was dark. It was grim. It was wild.
Yeah.
I believe the word we kept using was unhinged.
This episode is so upsettingly unhinged, and I love every minute of it.
Yeah, it was super fun. But at one point at the end where Granny and Ruby are making up, Granny is like, I thought you wanted to, like, travel and go see lemurs. And Ruby says, Emma was my lemur.
No!
Yes!
So she knows.
Which is an insane situation. So now maybe she used the internet at the sheriff's station to look up what a lemur is.
And she was like, glowing eyes. Emma, that's you.
That's a lemur. I think at one point August is, like, explaining lemurs, and then I think in their fight she's like, I want to see the lemurs. And so then Granny's like, that you wanted to see lemurs, and she's like, Emma was my lemur.
And you're my lobster.
Exactly. I'm like, okay, so I guess I certainly think that now Ruby's pet name for Emma should always be lemur.
They should bring that up again and never explain it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I do have one more thing to point out, and you argued against it, and I accept your argument, but I'm still upset. So Red has eaten her boyfriend, and she's a human, and she's upset. There is no one else around to have seen her transform from wolf into human. We hear an approaching mob. From their perspective, POV, you're the mob. You're going to walk up through the woods, see a corpse that is mangled, see a distraught girlfriend, her grandmother, and her friend. Who in their right mind is going to see that and go, well, naturally, she transformed into a wolf and ate her boyfriend. Now I recognize your argument is that Red is in pure hysterics and keeps saying, I ate him, I ate him, I ate him. So, fine.
Yeah. No,
there's another
see your point.
But there's another option. There is something where it's Red, you're gonna run. You're gonna bolt, you're gonna run. Mary, go with her. Keep the cloak on, stay hidden. Or just stay here, shut the fuck up, and you say, I saw the wolf it was eating my boyfriend, and it left.
Yeah, I don't think, I would say the run and come back is a better situation.
Then leave,
and
get the fuck out.
I don't think, I genuinely credit to Meganori, because she gives off the vibe. I don't think she has the capacity to think right now.
No,
I do not think she could lie. I don't think she'd be able to look at a mob and say, the wolf ate my boyfriend. I don't think she could even shut up.
No.
I think she's so upset that she would just be confessing.
She's cyclically repeating.
She's fixated on this. Rightfully so, because, again, she ate her boyfriend.
I'm also fixated on this, for the record.
Right. We can't get over it, and we didn't eat boyfriends.
No. But it should have been okay, here's what's going to happen. Mary,
you get out
her
and
the
then
fuck
come
out
back.
of here. Get her somewhere. She has the cloak on. She is harmless now. So you go.
Right.
Get her away.
And that's part of it, is, she's got to wear the cloak, get out of here, run. Because she does have the cloak on at that point.
Right.
So, at least Mary's, or Snow is okay, she's got to keep the cloak on. We know why the cloak is important.
So, I don't know.
I mean, I do have a bone to pick.
Ooh, good. Is it one of Peter's bones? Dark humor. Dark. Do I need a trigger warning on this episode? There's a lot of,
she ate her boyfriend?
Trigger warning, boyfriend eating? I don't know. I
don't know. Trigger warning.
Carnage?
Predation? Is this predation? Was he prey?
I don't know.
I don't know. No. Granny is a badass.
Yeah, we love her.
She is. She's a badass. Love her. Love her all the time. Another character can do very little wrong. What purpose was she serving by not telling Red she was a fucking wolf?
I don't know. I recognize the fact that that's a very traumatic thing to learn. Would have saved a lot of pain. Stopped her from eating her boyfriend.
And her boyfriend! Right. I don't... Especially when Granny knows the wolf keeps getting out.
Yeah. Get bars on her window. Or station yourself outside of her window. Clearly she's not using the front door.
Right. You're guarding the front door. Lock her in her room and sit outside at the window if you need to.
Yeah.
If you're not going to put bars on them. But, like...
Or just tell her, this is a shitty curse.
Fucking tell her,
was cursed
like,
as well. See this shit?
Yeah. This is terrible. I hate it. I don't want you to suffer from it. Wear your fucking cloak.
So you don't one day accidentally eat your boyfriend.
Eat your boyfriend!
Or anyone. So you don't become a murderer. Because that's the other thing we have to really see. Like, not just ate my boyfriend. She has killed people and animals. She has terrorized her village.
Right. Like, we keep fixating on the fact that she murdered her boyfriend. But she murdered an entire hunting party.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Like, she murdered a large crowd of men. That she ostensibly grew up around.
Oh, it's horrific. And that's why I think Granny's whole just leave is bonkers. This woman has experienced trauma. She needs family.
Well,
ideally family.
I don't know. I'd get her out of there. I would. I'd
go with her. Do something. She needs someone. She can't...
But you need somebody to explain what's going on. Yeah. Because if you all disappear, then they're going to start hunting you.
Right, like,
because you're clearly the reason that man is dead. So
it's just,
I do think it's the most sensible
come
option.
Back and we will figure out a plan. But you need to leave for 3 hours. Come back when the sun.
Oh no, it's got to be days, girl.
Come back for 3 days.
She is
resurrection.
She's got to be gone. Like, she's not getting over that in an hour.
Then go.
She's going to be dealing that with the rest of her life.
You tell her, go to this spot. Once I calm the mob down and tell them, oh no, the wolf went yonder that-a-way.
I don't think she can go back to the village.
No.
I just don't.
But
I don't
Granny
think she
can
go back.
Find her. Once the wolf
but now you're asking her to come up with this plan in the 10 seconds she's got before the mob appears.
But making her run just feels so mean. You ate everyone, now you're alone. Bye.
At least you've got Mary Margaret. You got somebody. Get out of here. We're trying to keep you safe.
It's just...
You're not dead.
Red deserves better.
Well, she's already eaten a boyfriend. Like, once you've hit that point, I don't know what to tell you.
I would argue that Red has the most tragic backstory in the show.
Yeah. Oh, but again, she's a murderer who ate her boyfriend. Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. She unintentionally ate her boyfriend.
Over this.
Right. We will never revisit this.
Except for when there's the Billy episode. Then we're going to a little bit to traumatize her further.
Right. We'll have another traumatized, Meganori hour.
Yeah.
I don't.
Season 2. Yeah. That was my 21st birthday episode. I can't wait.
That's good. God. I'm going to drink to that.
It's a teaser for next season.
Come back next season.
Okay. Lists?
Well, on the family tree, there's nothing to
technically.
Note to add.
Do we add Ruby's mom? Because we have mentioned.
She's not on the family tree.
Oh, that's true. Ruby's not. You're right.
Ruby's not related, so we don't
think God.
We could make a little family tree of them, but we don't need to.
No, we do.
Ruby's not on the tree.
Thank God.
There's no reason to put her on the tree. No. She's not on the family tree. She's not in the tumbleweed. She gets to live outside the tumbleweed. Yep. See, I'm being nice to Ruby. I'm getting her off the tumbleweed.
That's so nice. You're so nice.
See, I do think she needs to run and get out of there.
No,
but she can stay off the tumbleweed. And then we'll put Ruby and recently deceased Peter on the Beckfern, I guess, because confirmed kiss and they're running away together.
Yeah.
Obviously that will be a very small piece of this. Ruby has some more connections on there, so
I need you to repeat the funny joke you made earlier about adding Peter and Ruby to the Beckfern.
So I
you said just add Peter, and I'm sorry.
Okay, so okay. Long story short, I said just add Peter, which Peter, if you do not know, is slang in some places or old-timey time. I don't know when or
it's
where,
a thing.
but it used to be slang for a dick.
Yep,
like
sure did.
used to be slang for penis. So, Just Add Peter made me giggle because number one, it sounds like Just Add Water, and then that made me think of chia pets. So,
Chia.
Exactly. So, Just Add Peter. It's the fuck friend. Just Add Peter.
Peter.
Yeah. Peter. Anyhow, I thought you were talking about my joke about putting deceased over all the people who died.
Also that.
Almost all of them will be connected to Regina.
Oh yeah, no, that's happening. I'm pretty sure, just so we can see how many people died. How many people have been brought down by her vagina.
It's a death trap. I don't know what to tell you. It is. Facilier, watch out.
Oh, that man is a beautiful man.
He is a beautiful man.
So one of the good things about season 7.
There are a few.
That is one of them.
That is one of them. So, yeah, that was our deep and dark and grim and gnarly episode. What do you have to add? Do you have any lies?
Nothing that she hasn't already clocked as a lie. And
right, so we're not recounting.
And it's not addressed in this episode, so I'm not even going to touch the whole Mary Margaret, you're under arrest, because at this point it has not been... She's basing off of evidence, so I don't think it's fair to say she cannot use superpower against fingerprints.
Nobody's lying to her. I mean, like, obviously the evidence is falsified, but nobody is lying to her face.
So I'm not even touching that. So we are still 14 uses, 9 fails, 5 successes. Nothing has changed there. Magic beams, same old. Curses, nada. So not much happening in that particular space.
Yeah, no, it's an easy one. I think it's going to be easy for a while just because we're going to head into some more dramatic episodes that are very
we have
tightly plotted.
Heart of Darkness is next, which is where you get evil Snow because she took the anti-love the potion.
Yeah.
Which is a very fun time.
That will be fun.
So I guess watch ahead if you want to. I don't know. If that's your jam.
Yeah.
If that's your thing.
Yeah.
Be fun. What else? Questions. Leave us questions on the good old socials.
Yep. Where can they find us?
At winewineandonce@gmail.com. Same order as our podcast name, and also on Instagram, winewineandonce. Always with the wine alcohol first.
Are you looking for bad memes? We got your bad memes.
All of them. It's great. We make ourselves laugh every day.
Yeah.
And it
might not make you laugh, but it makes us laugh.
Exactly. And I guess if you're feeling real spicy, I drop a review. Is that what it's called? I don't know how to review podcasts.
Rate and review.
Rate and review, I guess. I don't know. Maybe we'll...
It helps us find
say
things
thanks
we might...
or something. We're nice. I don't know.
Say hi.
Even if you just say, just say hi. Don't even say anything about the podcast. Just...
I mean, you could go and leave us a review and just write Ruby ate her boyfriend.
Yeah. It would be a fact. It's like in Gilmore Girls where Kirk is trying to sell topical t-shirts with witty sayings from around the town. This week's would be Ruby ate her boyfriend.
And I will not be over that.
No.
Until next week.
Or even after that.
I'm going to live with that for a while.
Oh.
That's just in my soul.
You know why?
Now.
Because it was a bad time.
Such a bad time, but I have good news.
What?
It can only go up from here.
It really can. Thank God for that.
Have a great week, everybody.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.